So you've created this amazing piece of content. You've sweated blood and tears over it. Now what? Hi, I'm Sam Ashdown from the AJ Mastermind, and in this video I'm going to show you just a quick diagram of how you can repurpose your content, because you've spent time creating it, you've put effort into it, you've brought all your skills and knowledge, you maybe done a bit of research, and you've ended up with, for example, a blog or a sales letter. So let's just take the blog as an example. So I once wrote a blog called 6 Things to Do Before a Viewing, and it was probably one of our most successful blog posts ever. Didn't actually take much time to create, but it's probably neck end of 1,000 words. So I don't just want to put it on our website and then leave it, because it will just get lost in the archives of our website, and years later it will still be there, but it won't be actually giving us any traffic. So I've got my blog. What am I going to do with it? Well, the first thing I can do is I can create slides from the blog. There's lots of ways you can do this, but very, very simply, you can take your 6 things that you need to do before a viewing, and you can create slides out of them. So step 1 might be, I don't know, get rid of kids and dogs. So the slide would say, get rid of kids and dogs. There'll be a nice picture on there. And then there's a little bit of text underneath it, slide 2, and so on. And then there'll be a wrap-up slide, which would say, if you'd like help on knowing exactly how to show your home, then we'd love to help. So give us a call on this number and we can just have a friendly chat on the phone and help to make sure that your viewers turn into buyers. Once you've got your slides, you can easily just save it as a PDF. In fact, you can save it in 2 ways. One is as a PPS if you're using PowerPoint Show, which means anybody who gets sent this slide deck or who sees a link online somewhere, they can access that and they can watch it as a show without actually having to download PowerPoint or open your slides in the native form. Then you can just easily save it as a PDF, and now all of a sudden you've got a bit of a little ebook. So I did one years ago called something like 50 Things You Need to Do When You're Selling Your House. And I just put one little tip on every single page or every single slide, interspersed with images. And so it turned into a 100-page ebook, which actually looks a little bit more impressive, doesn't it? Put your logo on each page, put a nice contact page at the end of it, and you've actually got a really good asset that you can use in your business. Let's say you've written your blog. You can now turn it into a letter if the blog is relevant for a letter. And the letter can go out to all the, I don't know, F, G and H council tax band properties in your area. Or if it's specifically a blog about selling your home, like 6 Things to Do Before a Viewing, send it to all the on-the-market homes in your area. You don't need a very strong CTA, call to action. I know you know what that meant. You don't need a very strong call to action, because actually the piece itself is a call to action, because it's saying, we know what you need to do before a viewing and your estate agent isn't telling you. So actually it's perfectly relevant to send it to on the markets as well. Now let's switch those 2 round. Let's say that you've written a fantastic sales letter. So we write a not on market letter every quarter, which just means it goes to not on market properties. So it's a bit like a market update. It's something between 6 and 8 pages. So it's quite a substantial document. It takes Phil and I on average about 3 weeks to write it, going backwards and forwards with different versions. There's lots of data in there. There's a few images and graphs. It's a really, really meaty piece of content. We can easily then turn it into a blog and turn it into slides, turn it into a market update. In fact, one of the ones I did probably about a year ago now, I then narrated the slides and called it a market update video and put that on our Facebook. So you've got this data, you've got the research, you've got the content. Think about how many ways you can repurpose it. So let's move this way. We go slides to ebook. You know how to do that now. We can turn that into a video, or you can just create a video where you're talking to camera, and then actually you can send people back to the blog post. So you can go, today I want to talk to you about 6 things to do before a viewing, and then you get to the end of the piece to camera, and then you go, if you want to know more information about it, go to our blog. So you can send it either way. Or in the blog post, you go, do you know, I've created a little video about this, so why don't I show you? Go to this video link, and then you go to the video. Even better is to do it live, because you can always download it and upload it to, say, YouTube. And doing it live means that, especially on Facebook and Instagram and now on LinkedIn, these platforms favour live video. They want to be the new Netflix. They want you to spend hours and hours of your time whiling away the hours and just watching random videos of estate agents telling you how to sell your house more effectively. You can also turn it into some kind of audio or podcast. So Phil wrote, with a little bit of input from me, a piece about direct mail. It was like a little ebook on direct mail. It's probably about, I don't know, let's say 10,000 words. So bigger than a blog post, smaller than a book. Book is about 35,000 words, blog posts are about 1,000 words. He then narrated the book, so he just read it out from the manuscript that we'd created for him, and we turned it into an audiobook. We could then repurpose it on our podcast if we wanted to. And then the last thing is PR piece. So if you've unearthed some amazing information, or there's content and story worthy, maybe something with some urgency in your content, you can phone a local journalist, or you can send them a quick email and saying, hey, you've got this story, this is the content around it, this is the context and the images that you need, why don't you run the story? And actually I got interviewed by ITV very recently, talking about the problem with holiday homes in this area. So what I should now do is I should take that piece, all of about 3 seconds of it, even though she interviewed me for half an hour, take that piece, remember what I said, we should have actually recorded it, shouldn't we, on our end, and then I can turn that into a blog post, I can turn it into a letter. It's quite contentious, so I probably wouldn't do that, but it's very, very newsworthy. And even on my Facebook, when I posted the link, I got about 15, 20 comments straight away, and then that was kept going by some more people commenting on other people's comments. So clearly a topic that needs further discussion, so I probably could get more out of it, letter, PR, video, etc. So you've got all these different ways of repurposing your content. However your content starts, it can reformat into something else. Where are you going to put it? Well, you can put it in obviously all these places, can't you? So Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, email, your website. You can actually put it in a letter. You can send it out in the letter once you've created it, or you can send a postcard out saying, why don't you go watch the video on this topic, with maybe a little shortened link on it. So this is just from one piece of content. Let's say you've got 1,000 words here. Look what you can create out of it. So many more things. So have a think about the content that you've got that's done the very, very best. It's usually the simplest. I remember writing another piece years ago called Do I Need a Floor Plan to Sell My House? Because I figured that that's what people would actually be putting into a Google search. And I think I was right, because that went pretty much viral. And even now, if you type in, do I need a floor plan to sell my house? Somewhere on page 1 or 2, you find a really, really old blog post of mine. So what I should really do is repurpose that as an Ashdown Jones blog post and create all this other content around it and get all that virality, all the people who are looking for those things, that the answer to their questions, and position it as a blog post or as a direct mail piece or as a video or whatever format they want to consume it in. And quite often people consume an interesting topic in lots of different ways. You probably do too. So I'm really interested in ultra running and trail running. The amount of content I consume on this topic, even if it's the same content just repurposed in different ways, podcasts, videos, I'm always on YouTube looking for it, films on Netflix, books, articles, if somebody sent me a letter, I would read it, emails, so many different formats for actually the same content. So that's what you need to do for your audience. Now, we teach some really good stuff, don't we? That's a bit of an understatement. And we teach it here, right here in this room at Ashdown Jones. And what we do throughout every year is we run several free events for estate agents just like you. Now, there's a couple of things that we ask of you. One is we ask you to pay a small refundable deposit to make sure that you turn up. And 2 is you're an independent agency owner and that you're ambitious to grow your agency. That feels like 3. So we don't have any competing agents in the room. We just have one agent per area. That way you can be as vulnerable as you like and as open as you want to be with the challenges that you're facing in your agency, because you'll know that nobody else is going to encroach on your patch. So all you need to do is go to ajmastermind.co.uk/events and you'll be able to see the next event that's happening right here at AJ HQ, and you even get a delicious lunch. So thank you very much for watching this Whiteboard Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.